Garland Jeffries. Garland, come on down here. Take a seat. We'll talk a little bit and introduce the band, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got him over here.
Okay,
right there,
cool.
right there. We call them the cans. That's right.
The cans.
I'm very, very educated in the world of radio. What's up, Garland?
I'm having a great time these days.
Hey, can you introduce the band? They sound amazing.
Yeah, wonderful guys. On the right, let me see. What are their names again?
You guys want to introduce yourself?
Adam Roth on guitar.
He's amazing. Adam and I work together. Yeah.
Tom Coriano on the drums.
Nice.
From the United Kingdom, Brian Stanley on the bass.
Nice.
Charlie Roth, the brother of the younger Roth.
There you go.
On the keyboards.
You guys sound amazing. And I just said, what a coincidence. I just talked about working with Dennis Leary at his charity events, and these guys were the amazing band that backed Dennis up. Good job. Anyway, Garland, it sounds great. And are you on the road now? Are you currently out?
I'm not. My wife wants me on the road. That's the word.
Do you not like being on the road?
I'm enjoying it a lot. I got to tell you, I'm playing all the time. I'm loving it.
Where do you live?
I live in the city.
Okay.
In Manhattan.
And you from here?
I'm from in the city, from Brooklyn, from Coney Island.
Beautiful.
You know. I think I'm enjoying performing and singing and writing songs and making new recordings more than ever.
Well, you could tell.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really having a good time there. It sounds great.
Yeah,
This
thanks.
this recent album, you wrote it all on an acoustic, and you recorded it on a cassette. Is that how it worked?
This album, most albums work that way for me, but this one was different. I sort of had part of the album put together, and new songs started coming in, and then I worked with a bunch of great players to do the recording.
That helps.
and in the end, it just really turned into something special.
So, from the city, you went to Syracuse.
Yeah.
For you art major at Syracuse.
Yes.
And you met Lou Reed there.
Yeah, Lou was one of my best friends.
That's unbelievable.
Friends for 50 years.
Wow.
Now, what kind of friend were you with Lou Reed? Were you like really, a guy that was an insider with him, or you made music together, or you hung together?
We were friends originally based on the music that we liked, which
Right.
was really like doo-wop. Coming
Okay.
from
Really?
doo-wop, late 50s.
Yeah, I
This
read
is
that in
pre Velvet Underground.
I read that
way before
Yeah.
that.
The New York Times obituary mentioned that about Lou Reed.
Yeah.
When a guy like that passes away, you have to go to the New York Times to figure out everything, the obituary to really get. And a lot of times an artist like that will surprise you what they're a fan of, what started, and the doo-wop thing is how you guys came together.
Yeah, that's how we met. We used to hang out at this bar called the Orange. It was
Right.
a 4 o'clock hang.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
We go there, and we hung out with Delmore Schwartz, Lou and myself,
Wow.
and a couple other people that are coming in and out, And that was for quite a while, We met a lot of people, some fantastic people, Sterling Morrison, and who was one of the Velvets.
Right.
Tucker, James Tucker, the brother of Maureen Tucker, who was with the Velvets.
Right.
And it started like that. And Lou and I always had this connection really based on that early, because he came from Brooklyn, I came from Brooklyn, and we liked that early doo-wop music, like anything with a vibrato and a can I come over tonight? All that sort of stuff was just fantastic. I still love it. Still
Now,
listen to it.
This next question, it sounds like it could be coming from a comedic standpoint, and I promise you it isn't, because as an artist, I'm really curious about this. How much did getting high, figure into the creative process, if at all? You seem like when you talk about a Lou Reed guy at Velvet Underground, and the way he wrote, the lyrics certainly to his songs, you felt like they were involved, like drugs were involved in the creative process. Were they? And if they weren't at all?
Well, I think that Lou was really not very different than anybody else,
Right.
in the sense that, he was certainly stimulated to write songs, and I'm like I say, I met him at a time when we hung out with a professor, Delmore Schwartz, and he influenced a few of us we used to meet every day at 4 o'clock for our wine. You know,
Yeah.
he drank Dubonnet and the Rocks, and so did I, because he told me that that's
Right.
what I should be drinking.
4 p.m.
You know, PM, 4 p.m. And my friendship with Lou was long. It's been, you know, like I say, 50 years. You
Right.
know? I've seen him through very many situations. You know, and I can tell you this. Nobody knew him. Very few people knew him.
Right.
But he was a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
And maybe some people don't get that or something like that. But he was a sweet Lou. He was a wonderful person, and he certainly was a great friend to me.
Yeah. Now, when was the last time you had seen him when he passed?
I saw him a month before he passed. We had lunch together in Lower East Side,
Right.
and I was amazed at how well he looked. He looked
Right.
He looked fantastic.
Right.
Wow. He looked great. You know, he was
That
sitting
was
on-
surprising to you, though.
yeah, because the following month,
Yeah.
he
right.
died.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the time, why was it surprising? You don't know he's going to die.
At the time, I thought, you know, he'd gone to have his surgery,
The liver situation?
the liver
Yeah,
situation,
yeah.
the surgery in Ohio, and this is the first I had seen him since he had been back from that, you know.
And he looked well.
And he looked more than well. He looked
Right.
great.
Right.
And I
That's
thought like
surprising.
maybe he had found something special
He beat it.
to beat it.
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't beat it.
How many musicians would you say you hung out with that you feel, famous or not, like that you feel left too early? Do you know any guys that didn't have to be well known, just guys in your life do you
Yeah.
think checked out a little too early?
I think many.
Many, yeah.
I think many. You know, it's you know, we're all from the same generation in a way,
Right.
and we've all done a lot of different things in the course of our life, you know.
Right.
But maybe one day you wise up and you realize you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I know I feel that way. And
Good. I'm glad you do.
my wife and I, who's here,
Right.
we're together 32 years. You
I think
know?
I saw her around. Yeah, that's
She-
great.
You know, and I have a great family and all that. You know, it's kind of like a straight guy, you know, in a
Right.
sense. But it's called really wanting to live and live a life. You know, that's my story. I want to live a life. I want to continue living. I'm playing all the time now.
Good for you.
I'm performing everywhere. Some new things coming up constantly about where we're going to be playing, and so
Right.
I'm thrilled.
Can
Good,
you
I'm
talk
glad.
about the song that you played for us, "Wild in the Streets"? You wrote that early '70s.
Yeah.
And it was actually about a pretty dire situation in the Bronx.
Right.
Right. And it's become kind of an anthem now for a lot of people. You know, completely separate from you know why it was written. Can you
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I mean, I wrote the song because I was stimulated by this murder. These two kids, I guess one was 12 and one was 14, or one was 13, and they threw this girl off a roof in the Bronx. Yeah. And I wrote the song like that day.
Now, were they junkies? Was it a crime? Just like for a crime, they needed money?
I don't think it was a chunky.
Yeah.
I think it was two kids being crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think I think these are kids who are very young.
Senseless crime.
Senseless.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
And so I had begun to write these kinds of songs where I was quite interested in the circumstances of people's lives.
Heavy stuff.
You know, and this
Yeah.
was one of the outcomes of what I was doing, and I just proceeded to continue going, you know, and I never loved the music business as such. I never loved the record company. Hated them. Hated them.
Hard business to
Hated
like.
them.
In a
But
lot of ways.
I loved the music. Loved the performing.
Right.
Loved the
Yeah.
songwriting. Loved the experience of working with these guys I'm working with now. You know.
Well, that was that song was the first rock. You said that was like the first rock song you felt like you'd written.
Yeah.
at the time.
You've read my
and that kind
information.
of branched out into.
That's exactly it. That song, "Wild in the Streets," stepped on my other songs that I had written before then, because it really, this is where I want to go.
Yeah.
And so
I
you
found
felt that
something.
was real growth as an artist.
Definitely.
Writing that song was a breakthrough.
Yeah.
And now, do you feel you need music to keep living? Like, even if you weren't a guy talented enough or popular enough to do gigs, be on shows.
It's a very
do you
good,
think
very good question.
You'd have to
because,
keep doing it.
I think I do need music,
Yeah.
because when I've stopped, I've kind of, you know, I'm not a fun person to be around.
I get it.
You know, right, honey?
No, I would have the same. I could say the same sentence if my fiance was in the room. They know I'm that way with comedy. Like, people don't get this. Like, if it all ended and agents stopped calling and the business stopped calling, I had no opportunity to do a gig on the road to make money or a show like this or get a book deal, whatever the hell it was, I would still, if I became like a construction worker tomorrow, which is the only thing else I'm qualified to do, would be labor at a construction site, not even skilled, just a laborer.
Yeah.
Every month or so, I'd have to get on stage at a club. I'd beg them. You remember, I used to be something, and you used to let me on stage. It's going to save my life. Can I do 15 minutes twice a month, stand-up comedy? Because I need it. I
think that's not so unusual. You know,
Right.
I think a lot of people like that. You know, I think all these people here, like certainly my musician friends, they got to play. They want
Right.
to play. You know.
Yeah. And you can tell in their music, you know, it's like I would just say I and it sounds pathetic, but I need this, man.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not pathetic. I think it's pretty normal in a way.
Certainly for people who entertain and stuff. And now you on the road now?
Yeah, I am.
Where are you?
I just came back from Alaska.
Wow.
Played up in Alaska.
Anchorage, Juneau, where were you?
Valdiv, I guess we
Yeah.
started at. We were also in Anchorage.
I played Anchorage once. Yeah, it's tough being sober in Anchorage. But
I tell you, I'm not sure if I want to go back to Australia. But we did have a lot of fun. You know, we really had a good time. And then going down the coast, we went from there down to Seattle, Portland.
I did that route. Yeah,
Berkeley,
Yeah.
L.A. We played a bunch of shows all the way down, and then
Right.
we played in Minneapolis. And you know, just shows, more shows.
Well, you can tell you guys are passionate about it, and it's like, you know, it really is. You know, if you have some sort of art that you're good enough to where a couple of people at least,
That you're lucky enough.
yeah, lucky enough to where people want to see you. Even if you're having a bad day, when you get the mic out of the stand and you start doing whatever you do, it gets better. You know?
Well, when I come home sometimes and I'm in a bed, when I take out my microphone and I start screaming in the house, my wife wants to get rid of me, you know.
No, we're lucky because I have cousins who get a microphone and just start beating people up. If you can say something into it or
I
sing
know a
into
few
it.
of those kind of
Yeah,
people,
if you can
too.
sing it. Well, you guys were amazing. Thank you again. And if you're ever in town, please, you have an open invite. Please come by.
Yeah, definitely.
Garland Jeffries, is the album Truth Serum new, I assume?
Yes, it's brand
We
new.
heard Any Rain from Truth Serum, Get That, and of course, what you call your fabulous classic, and it is great, Wild
in the
Streets.
Streets.
That's Garland. How do we get you on Twitter? Do you do any of that stuff?
Yes, we Twitter.
What do you do? How do we find you?
You can Twitter me. You can email me at
Yeah.
garlandjeffries.com. I go to my website. You know,
We'll do all that.
do all that.
We'll do all that. Garland, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Thank you
Garland
very much.
Jeffries, you guys were amazing, too. Much good fortune. Safe travels. Back after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.